Thank you, Les, for that kind introduction. I am Tom Shaw, and I want to talk to you today about something special. You have something special in you. You were born with greatness, and you have that in you today, and you can tap into it whenever you'd like to. Now, I was told one time by a mentor of mine that 1 out of every 3 people are beautiful. And since you guys are such a beautiful group of people, do me a favor. Look to your left and then look to your right. Well, if it's not either one of them, then, well, I'll let you guys figure that out. I want to talk to you today about what it takes to change your mindset. What does it take? How do you get from where you're at to where you want to go in the best possible way for you? I want to talk to you about what it means to have the right mindset, your best mindset. Some professionals would say, well, you got to have a paradigm shift. Well, I'm not here to talk to you about those kind of technical terms. I think we all understand what a mindset is, because we know, and I know, and all of you know, that when you go into a bad situation with a crummy attitude, you're just going to make it worse. But if you go into a good situation and you have a great attitude, it will be even better. And the reverse is applicable. So here's the deal, folks. You and I are no different than one another. I've worked hard to get where I'm at through the events that have happened in my life. I've been molded and changed and had to figure that out. And I want to talk to you about that today, because part of my story is relatable to what it means to have the correct or the right mindset. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I had dreams and hopes, and I hope all of you do too, because otherwise I don't think you would be here in this room. You've taken the time and paid the money to get here, and you're here for personal reasons. But when I was 16, I was a really good athlete, and I was playing football and baseball, and I had everything going for me. All the right things in my court, right? But I had dreams. And my dreams were I was going to go to college and be a running back in college, and I was going to win the Heisman Trophy. And after I won the Heisman Trophy, I was going to go to the NFL and play football in the NFL. But those dreams changed for me. And I had to change. And here's how those dreams changed. See, when I was a little kid, I had a problem. And the problem I had was I was a chronic sleepwalker. I would get up and go into other rooms, open the refrigerator, do things in the refrigerator I wasn't supposed to. I would leave the house. My mom would have to follow me. And when I was 16 years old, it happened. I slept, walked out of the house, got in the car, and I drove off in the car. Nobody else was hurt, but I had a very traumatic accident. I had a spinal cord injury, and I became paralyzed from the waist down. Well, somebody found me, and they got the ambulance there, and they took me to the hospital. Of course, my parents got there and a few other relatives. And before you know it, they're talking about, we got to do surgery and we got to get this guy fixed. But the doctor came in finally with the x-ray, and he's putting the x-ray up underneath one of them old-fashioned x-ray boxes that hung on the wall with a backlit. And here's what he said. He said, sorry to say this to you guys, but Tom will probably never be able to have children again, ever, and he will never be able to walk again. Well, one of my uncles went completely off on the doctor, started yelling and screaming, "You don't know Tom. You don't know Tom. Don't tell him that. He's not going to listen to that. You don't know." And they had to escort him out of the hospital. And then he and my father left, and well, they got drunk and they lost a truck. I don't know how you end up getting that drunk and lose a truck, but eventually they found it and everybody was okay. They got me into surgery. I just wanted them to kind of get out of the room so the doctor could go to work. When the doctor got me put back together, now I was in the ICU and surgery. I don't know how long I was in there. It could have been 5 days, 14 days, I don't know. I lost track of time. But here's what I do know. When I woke up in my regular hospital bed, in the regular hospital room, flat on my back, I was a little bit groggy, and I didn't kind of know what was going on, didn't know how the surgery turned out or anything, right? But my mom was there, my hero, the person that was always there for me. And I said, "Mom, why did this happen to me? This doesn't happen to people like me. Why did it happen to me?" And she said, "Sweetie, it doesn't matter why this happened to you. All that matters is that you focus on healing and getting better." And then she said something that I will never forget, and I say this to people all the time. And she said, "Sweetheart, I want you to know, this too shall pass. This too shall pass." What I had to do in that moment and during that time period, laying flat on my back, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't use the restroom on my own. I couldn't move my legs. Paralyzed from the belly button to my toes. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision about how am I going to take care of this situation, manage myself. How? What am I going to have to do to take care of myself? I've never been paralyzed before. Now that might sound silly to say, but it was true. And the fact of the matter is that I didn't know what to do. But what I did know was this, that I had to make up my mind and make challenge myself with a mindset that was going to be positive, and that it was going to be a mindset for me to overcome everything that had happened to me. I was still alive, and I was grateful. I had to be grateful for that. Because when you choose your mindset, and all of us have this choice, by the way, we all have the free will to choose whether we're going to be grouchy, whether we're going to be happy. How are you going to have an attitude tomorrow? Well, make up your mind the night before you go to bed, or when you get in bed and you're taking care of your personal time. You tell yourself tomorrow's going to be a great day. And most likely it will be a great day. But you've got to make up your decision on your own. Every one of you have this ability to choose what kind of a mindset you're going to have. And what kind of a mindset are you going to present to other people? Maybe you've got dreams. Maybe you've got hopes. And maybe coming to this conference was the one thing that you're going to hear that you're going to go, "Oh, I understand now. I get it. I understand what I need to do to move forward, because I'm hearing these people speaking to us today." And it's okay to borrow the people's confidence. Any one of you guys can call me, text me, email me, and we'll have a conversation. Maybe we'll do some one-on-one coaching, but we're going to talk about, you can borrow my confidence. Everybody in this room needs a mentor and a coach. I believe that with all my heart. And the reason I believe that is because that's what I've been doing for myself ever since I started real estate. And the reason I do it because it's a relationship business. But when I come out here and I'm speaking to you, it's no different. This is a relationship business. And what I want to tell you is you have the choice to make up your own mind right now, today. Don't wait. What are you going to wait for? If you wait, pretty soon you'll be 60, then you're 70, then you're 80, and then you've died and you've left all those dreams and hopes right where they were, no place, sitting on the couch next to you with large angry eyes looking at you like, why did you cheat us out of getting to do what you should be doing? Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but you're cheating everybody around you. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to climb a mountain. Maybe you want to ride a bicycle around the world. I don't know what that is for you. But whatever it is, today's a day to make the choice to do it. And once you do it, and it's hard because it's going to be hard, guess what? You do it hard. There are going to be people in this world, mark my words, that are going to laugh at you. They're going to say, oh, you're just a dreamer. There are going to be family members who don't have confidence in you. And they say, well, you can't do it. And if you can't see it for yourself, nobody else can. So you have to have a mindset that you can see what you want and go after it. Borrow your mentor's confidence until you have your own. It's okay. The only reason people ask for help is not because they're weak. It's because they want to remain strong. That is a fact. You want to remain strong not only for you, but so you can show all those naysayers, the people out there laughing and heckling you and making fun of you because you're trying something that they're not willing to do. They're happy with whatever mediocrity is that they're living. They're happy with their status quo. But that's not you. That doesn't have to be you. You're here, you're in this audience. You've made up your mind already to come to a conference where everybody here is going to talk about being positive and uplifting yourself. We're not here talking to you about how to bake a cake. No. We're here because we want to help you. We want to be your stretcher bearers. We want to be a part of your journey. And if the words that I'm speaking to you are words that are going to help you get started on your journey or complete your journey, then I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. You see, I had to make up my mind. I had to make up my mind about how I was going to move forward in this event that happened to me. It wasn't the event that I was really focused on. And I learned this about myself later in life. It was, what am I going to do with the information I have? Well, I knew that I was paralyzed and I knew I had some other issues to deal with. My back was broken and that was a problem. Not being able to walk is a problem. Okay? It's not an inconvenience. That's a problem. Here's what I had to do. I made up my mind at that moment when I was talking to my mom after I woke up that I'm going to have a great mindset. I'm going to utilize the athletic training that I had gotten all my life since fourth grade to do this, to tackle this journey that I had just started. Tough journey. Then shortly after that, I find out that I'm going to go to rehab. And they take me to rehab. Now, keep in mind, I get to rehab and I'm there and I'm utilizing my visualization skills. A great skill. I still use it to this day in my business, and I use it when I'm doing my quiet time. I utilize it when I'm thinking about speaking to people. I visualize this whole scene, start to finish. I visualize it. How do I want it to come out? I have that imprinted in my brain over and over and over, and the visualization skill works. And it does help provide some confidence in your mindset. So they get me over to the rehab center. And while I'm there, they're tough. Every day's a grind. And my very first day there, they take me to this meeting with these doctors. And these doctors, they're saying, "Hey, Tom, tell us what your goals are." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to walk out of here." And listen, I was 16 and I was cocky, okay, let's just say. And I had not lost all my confidence, but I had lost my mindset. So I got my mindset back in it and I said, "I'm going to walk out of here, doc." He said, after looking at my file, "Tom, that's not realistic. Based off your prognosis, you go back, think of a new one and come back, let us know." I said, "Well, then this meeting's over." I turned my wheelchair around and I left. I never returned to that meeting. Never, ever. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let somebody else's opinion of you determine who you are and the way you think. Only you and God can determine the prognosis. The doctor can only determine the diagnosis. And I say that because I'm in charge of me. And little did he know, he lit a fire underneath me. A fire so hot that I utilized what he said to me as part of my motivation. Along with some other things, I used music. I used visualization. I had all these tools that I could use to help myself daily. Then when I physically get to the rehab part, I'm working hard. I'm doing the physical rehab. I'm stretching. They're eventually getting me up in between the walking bars where I'm trying to take steps and I can't hardly do that. But what I do have, they're trying to strengthen. Ladies and gentlemen, 31 days later after I got there, I walked out of that hospital with braces on both legs up to my waist, crutches on my arms. But ladies and gentlemen, I walked out of there. I walked. Let me just say that to you one more time. I walked out of that hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, look to somebody your left and your right and tell them this: "You've got this." Okay, now I want you to do the same thing and say, "Motivation is your friend." Ladies and gentlemen, I used whatever it took, because there are going to be days that you can't find motivation, and you're going to have to find a resource within yourself or something in your environment to help you get the motivation to get your butt in gear to do what you need to do. That is the difference. That's what I had to do. I had to use my own imagination and motivation. For example, I'd be laying in bed, and this is prior to being able to move my feet or legs or anything, and I would visualize my big toe moving. And one day, I'm laying there, my grandpa is at the foot of my bed, and he said, "I think your big toe just moved." "Did you move your big toe?" I said, "Well, I don't know, Grandpa. Maybe." He said, "Do it again. Try it again." And so I'm closing my eyes and I'm concentrating like heck. And he said, it moved. I saw it move. Well, I thought to myself, if I could move my big toe, then maybe I could start concentrating on my other toes. And then once I could wiggle those just a little bit, I started to concentrate on my ankle and so on up my body. And I did that every single day. And then I eventually got strong enough that I could walk with crutches. And then I could walk with a cane. And then I could walk with none of those, just a brace on my right lower leg. But here's what happened. I got to the point where I was where I was going to be. And the doctors told me, they said, once you're at 5 years from your surgery date, then whatever you have is what you'll end up with. Hey, in the grand scheme of things, 5 years could look or sound like a long time period, but it went by really fast. And so I was really trying to work hard to get as much as I could before 5 years. I walked at my own high school graduation and got a standing ovation. How many of you have ever been through a trauma? A trauma that you didn't know what you were going to do to move forward? Raise your hands. Yeah, a lot of you. Those traumas could be losing a family friend, a family member, breaking your back, having a leg or an arm amputated, having a car accident, going through rehab for drugs and alcohol. Whatever that trauma is in your life, it's not the last thing, and it will never be the last thing. You have what it takes. You have greatness within you. Most of everything you want to do in life is between your ears. You just have to tap into it. You have to tap into it and put it to work. Make sure that you are allowing other people to support you. I've talked to you about finding the right mindset. We've talked a little bit about motivating yourself, allowing other people to motivate you. After I had my accident, there were about 4 or 5 people in my life, besides family, friends, that I found out who my real friends were. And these guys, they were my football buddies. They treated me just like we were still on the football field. They didn't cut me any slack. They put me to the test. They said, Tom, you're not crippled. Do it yourself. Now, they weren't saying that to be mean. They were saying it out of love because they knew what I was capable of. They gave me a reality check every time we hung out. Several of those guys went above and beyond. And I'm going to tell you right now, after I got years out beyond my surgery, I reached back and found these guys because, you lose track of people because of life happening. And I found these guys and I made sure they knew what they meant to me and how they affected my life. They changed my mindset. They helped me with that. They allowed me to be who I am today. You see, just because I had this one tragic, unfortunate accident doesn't mean I'm immune to having another one. And neither are you. And the support system you have around you is vital to helping you stay healthy, happy, and successful. From my accident in 1985, there were pharmaceuticals involved. And just so happens that was around about the time they started feeding people opioids. Now, I didn't know at the time, and I don't know that anybody really knew at the time what the effects of opioids were going to be. But today we have a crisis. And if you're taking opioids and you want to talk to me, you can call me, text me, email me. I'm happy to talk to you. And I will share my experience with you and what I went through. You see, I had a support system, but 33 years after starting the opioids, I detoxed. Now, I had the help of a doctor, wean me down, and I did take myself off of them when I was on the really teeny tiny dose, which was a mistake. But I also married to my best friend in the world and the love of my life. And she's a nurse. And because of that support that she provided me, I went through hell going through this detox. But it wasn't near as bad as it could have been because I had her and my kids. But I detoxed in 2018. You know what else I did in 2018, ladies and gentlemen? I wrote a book about myself, about my story. This story that I'm sharing with you, you can read it and get the details for yourself. But that year was a banner year for me, so to speak. You know, that's the year where I had a coach. And this coach said to me, Tom, what do you want to do? Why are you coming to my office and seeing me? I said, well, I want to write a book. I just detoxed off of 33 years opioid addiction physiologically. And I want to write a book, and then I want to ride my hand bike 50 miles. And I want to raise money for a foundation called Steps of Faith Foundation. Well, he said, well, what's that? It's a foundation that provides artificial limbs for people who can't afford them or are underinsured. And so here's what I did. I had this hand bike. And he said, well, have you trained? I said, no. He said, when's the last time you rode the hand bike? I said, well, maybe 2 years ago. He said, I just don't believe that this is going to happen. You're kind of setting the bar a little high for yourself. Now, if you buy my book, I want you to pay attention to the foreword. This gentleman wrote the foreword to my book. And in there, he admits that he was wrong, that he doubted me, but I proved him wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I rode 50 miles multiple times. What did I do to get there? I trained daily. I rode the trails. I rode on the paved streets. I rode and I trained. I had the right mindset. I had the right motivation. I was doing it to help other people. Sometimes when we help other people, we got to go through a little bit ourselves, because that's how we discover ourselves. We find out through these sorts of things that it's okay to go through some stuff. Life's going to happen whether you like it or not. Your parents might get a divorce. You might have a heart attack, or your dad might have a heart attack. Somebody in your life might get cancer. God forbid any of those things happen, but it's part of life. It happens. So I did this. And then I opened a real estate company. And then by the end of 2018, I released my book on Amazon. You can still get it there today, amazonbooks.com or whatever that is. And I'm just telling you this because I know that you have a book in you. You've got a song in you. You've got poems in you. You've got things in you and ideas in you that were given to you, and only you. Those are yours. They're not mine. I can't finish them for you once they're gone. You're gone, and you got them halfway done. I can't finish it. Your family can't finish it because they're not you. See, you were given these gifts that I told you about earlier. You were endowed with the greatness of being a human being. You're unique. You see, a tree can't be nothing but a tree. A dog can't be nothing but a dog. You can be whatever you want. Have whatever you want. Be whatever you want. You see, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm here speaking to you, I'm pushing this energy out onto you. And this is the kind of energy that you got to have. You got to have what it takes. You can't just think that things are going to come into your world without taking action. It don't work that way. As Les Brown would say, it ain't that kind of party up in here. And as you do the things that you need to, some will call it a plan, then things will start coming into your world. The mindset and the motivation are the things that are driving the bus. The visualization skills. You got to see it for yourself, because nobody else can see it for you if you can't see it for yourself. It's just the things you have to do. Are you willing to do that? I want you to turn to somebody on your right side or your left side and say, are you willing to do what it takes? That's right. You all are, or otherwise you wouldn't be here in this auditorium with these other 499 people. You see, I've been through some stuff. I've been through a divorce. I've been through a tragic accident. I've been through addiction. And I may go through some more stuff in the future. And there's a real good chance that you're going to go through some stuff. But how you go through that stuff is what's going to determine your future. The past is the past. You cannot change that. Right now, you're in a spot where you are doing what you need to do to change your future. Now, is that what you really want to do? Or did you just come here because you wanted to come to a big event? Believe me, there are a lot of people in this room that are going to leave here, and for 2 days they're going to be hyped up and they're going to be ready to rock and roll, and then nothing. You have got to be willing to do what it takes. And I'm not just saying that. I know it for a fact because I have done it. It's not about millions of dollars. It's not about glamour shots and rewards of those sorts. It's about, what do you want? What fills you up? What is going to help you become the person you want to be? That's what's important here. That is the biggest thing here. Change your mindset. Allow other things in your life to motivate you. The smallest of things and the biggest of things. Be grateful. Share your gratitude with people you love, people you know and work around. Most of all, would you do me a favor and share your gratitude with strangers? And here's why I'm saying that. Because it uplifts their day. And more than that, ladies and gentlemen, it uplifts you. It puts you in a higher state, a better place to be viewed. And your shoulders go back and you're full of confidence because you could see the joy that you just brought to somebody by saying, wow, that is a fantastic pair of shoes. I love your coat. I love how you handled that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to close your eyes. I'd like you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to visualize. I want you to visualize that there is a string above you. And this string is dangling from the ceiling. And everybody in this room has one right above your head. And I want you to visualize that there's this $1 million bill. And I don't know if they make $1 million bills, but just go with it, okay? Visualize this $1 million bill dangling just barely out of reach. You can't quite reach it, and there's somebody pulling the string. You try to reach it and it goes up a little bit, and you just can't quite get it. And if you do reach this $1 million bill, what do you get to do with it? There's rules. There's always going to be rules, ladies and gentlemen. One of those rules is this: you gotta give it to charity, some of it. Let's say half. Now, some might say half would be Uncle Sam, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about you helping an organization better their position to help others. You get that credit from the universe when you do that, okay? Now, keep your eyes closed, and I want you to visualize that $1 million bill. It's hanging down there. You can't quite reach it. Oh, and you're trying. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your shoulders back, take a few deep breaths, and then I want you to sit straight up, really straight, stiff, wonderful posture. Kind of feels good when you do this because you're just in a really good position physically, right? And then I want you to lean, whatever hand you use, get it up there. But I want you to visualize your fingers just you getting to that $1 million bill and grabbing it. You've got to see it. You got to see it for yourself. You got to believe that you can reach it. And then once you grab a hold of it, it's yours. You've worked hard for that. What are you going to do with that $1 million bill? How are you going to rip it into pieces and spread it out for the betterment of yourself and the people around you and others? A servant's heart. What are you going to do? My challenge is this: you take half of it and you give it to a charity of your choice. You take the other, out of the other half, 1/4 of it, and you invest it so you have a nice retirement. And then that last quarter, you do something for yourself. You start your business, you grow your business, you take your family on a vacation, you take your wife on a vacation. You buy that house you've always wanted. You buy that car you've always wanted. It's okay. Money's not bad. Many of us have been without money and we've been with money, and most of us prefer to be with money. I can promise you that. Oh, my friend Zig Ziglar would say, it's not cold, hard cash. It's warm. And it goes with every color my wife wears. You see what I'm saying? It's not just money. It's the tool that's going to help you get where you need to go. So when you get into these conversations with the hypocrites on Sunday who are out playing golf and drinking beer, and then they go to church on Sunday to get forgiven, and they start talking to you about, oh, you're always talking about making money, it's okay. Don't you be forgiven, or apologetic rather, for earning money. You've got a dream. You've got hopes. You've got goals. You need to go after them. It's yours to go after. It's absolutely yours. Now, we're kind of getting towards the end here, and I want to say this. You know, the doctors in 1985, I've never been angry with them. They did their job. They fixed me up. I ended up having 4 major back surgeries. And I'm grateful that I had them. And I'm grateful that I got to go to the University of Kansas Medical Center and have them there. Because a lot of things happen. Life happened. But here's one thing happened in my first marriage. I had 3 beautiful, wonderful children. I have a son and 2 daughters. And man, if we had the time, I could sit here and tell you all about them and how proud I am of them. Because I couldn't be prouder. The other thing that I'm so grateful for is the fact that I was at KU and I met my future wife there. And then we didn't talk to each other for roughly 20 years. And then guess what? We got married in 2009 and have been married ever since. Life happens. No matter whether you're on point or you're on the sideline. You know, Les Brown tells a story about, have you ever been in your car and the emergency brake is on and you're pushing the gas pedal down, the car, it won't go anywhere. And you don't realize it's on. You push the gas pedal, you mash it down, it doesn't go anywhere. And then all of a sudden you're hitting the gas and you pop the emergency brake and choo, off you go. That's the way your life is going to happen. If you need to pull over at some point and sit on the side of the road to gather your thoughts, that's okay. Most every speaker in the world that I've ever listened to, and whoever I will always listen to in the future, and including me, will tell you this. Great things happen to people when they get quiet. When you get quiet and you don't have the noise of the day in your ears and in your eyes, you're not looking at your phone, you're not looking at the TV, you're not listening to family talk about life and the bills and all these things that go on all around us. You're not doing all that. You're just sitting quiet. And I'm going to recommend to you that you do this every day. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do a half hour. Some people incorporate meditation. Some people incorporate reading the Bible. But not me. I just sit quietly. And I'm not trying to give too many details, but I like to do it while I'm taking a shower. Because that's a comfortable place for me. It's warm. The water is soothing. And I can just think clearly. And there is 100% chance nobody's coming into my bathroom to bother me. And if that happens, there's probably an emergency. But you got to take the time to get quiet. Great things happen to people. That's how people figure out what the title of their next book is going to be. That's how people figure out that they want to try something that they don't think's been done before. Maybe part of it's been done, but you want to improve the process. You know, I never thought that when I was in the 7th grade and they introduced Apple computers to us, that we would all be carrying around a computer in our hand with an Apple on it from that very same company 40 some years later. Life happens. But everything is in the universe already. It's already been created. You have to pull it out of your mind and your mindset and yourself and get it done. Because that's yours. That's yours to give. And if you don't do it and don't give it to us, you've neglected us. And we want what you have. A lot of people die at age 36. They just don't get buried until they're 65 or 80. All those dreams and hopes are standing around your deathbed with angry eyes looking at you saying, we could have been something. Why didn't you do us, use us, make us happen? And that's the way it's going to be, because that's how it is. And I'm saying you have an opportunity to make a choice. Make a choice. Does everybody in the back hear me? Make a choice. Make a choice to change your mindset. Make a choice to allow motivation to come into your life in many, many ways. You read something, you see something, you hear something. It's okay to be nostalgic, be motivated by things from the past or words from people. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. Imagine this. Imagine you have this idea in your head that if you don't tell it to the world or try and get it out there, something terrible is going to happen and the world is going to implode. It's that big of a deal. It's that important. You have that in you. Zig Ziglar says you were born and endowed with the seeds of greatness within you. We all were. We were all given a gift of life and a gift of being able to think and choose with free will. You all have that. I suggest you all use it. I'm passionate about speaking to people. I want my message to be clear that it's not about what you don't think you can't do. It's about what you don't know you can do because you haven't tried it yet. Get off the couch right now, today, and try it. Be mindful. Be mindful of everything that you want to do. Is it going to cost money? Probably. Everything does nowadays. It always has, but even more today. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, it's going to be hard. Well, then do it hard. Work hard. There are a lot of things that happen in people's lives that they accomplish not because they had the money, but because they worked hard at it. And they stayed dedicated to it. They fell down 7 times. They got up on the 8th time and they kept going. Because along the way, you're going to get banged up, bruised up, and bumped up. And that's going to happen. That's the part that's called life. You're going to fail your way to the top. You see, the problem with most people's thinking is that they don't believe that it's crowded at the bottom. Well, I'm here to tell you that's where it's most crowded. You're in thin air at the top. There's not a lot at the top. Not a lot of people up there. It's not crowded. You want to get there, be there? You got $1 million idea? Then treat it like it's $1 million idea. Go for it. Don't just sit there and allow yourself to be second to nothing. Those people I talked about earlier who are saying, oh, come on, man. You can't build that. You just can't build that. That's impossible. Apple Computer was started in a garage. I've never been to their headquarters, but I hear it's quite big and fancy. And that same person, after you find a little bit of success and you prove to them that you can do it, they're coming back to you and they got their hand out and they're saying, hey, you think you could get me a job at your company? Yeah, that's what happens. Again, you can't allow somebody else's opinion of you determine who you are. That's not what it is. We're not going to play those kind of games around here. You've got to have a mindset that is like steel. Steel sharpens steel. Ching ching, you know what I'm saying? You've got to believe in those things because they're real. Do you believe in faith? Faith is determined to be something that you believe in, but you can't necessarily see or grab a hold of. It's like an invisible thing. But I have faith. I have faith in everything I'm doing. And I can see it for myself. I've come through life. I broke my back. I walked. Then I graduated high school and got a standing ovation. And then I got married and had kids. I went through a divorce. Then I had all these surgeries. I had 4 surgeries, big old surgeries too. It was serious. And then I got divorced, and then I got remarried. And guess what? Life kept on happening. But I couldn't see where it was going, but I believed it was going there. I had faith. And I still have faith. I have faith in the fact that I know that I believe in this universe. And I know that I was born and I'm going to die someday. Those are things I know and I accept. But you've got to have faith. If you can't see it for yourself, no one can see it for you. Be mindful of that. Be willing to turn yourself into other things that you need to be, because you're going to have to wear a lot of hats when you're trying to make yours or fulfill your dream. Some of them are going to be simple, but if you're trying to create a business or build something or do something major that's going to affect the entire world, that's important. And you're going to have to wear the business hat, the marketing hat, and the stock person hat, and the guy that gets the screwdrivers and hands it to you. You got to do all these things yourself, because these other people, they can't see your dream. They don't know how you want it done. Go after it. Don't sit here another minute today and think you're not going to go after it. And don't think that it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. It's not. And a lot of people are going to face Murphy's Law over and over and over again. And for some of you, Murphy's waiting out in the parking lot for you. And, you know, you're going to get smacked upside the head. You get over here, you know. And it's going to happen. That's the way life happens. But you've got to stay grounded. This is your dream. You've got to stay in a mindset and have the right motivation with the right support system and the right amount of faith to get what you need and what you want. There are people in this world that are okay with just accepting what's happening right down here at the bottom. That's not you, folks. I can see it in your eyes. Every one of you in here, I can see it. And I can see it for you, because I believe in you. And if you need to borrow my confidence to get started, then I invite you to borrow it. Now, I want you all to just take a deep breath. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're breathing deep, and you can feel the energy in the room already. I can feel it. I hope I'm adding to the energy. But I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale in, out. I want you to imagine all your dreams and successes are already completed, and you've successfully gotten what you want out of life. But wait, there's more. You're not finished. Keep your eyes closed and keep breathing. I want you to feel the energy of the people around you. They're passing energy over to you and back and forth, and you're giving them your energy. And as a group, we're all providing this energy for each other that is keeping the room bright. Keep breathing. Take this moment to dream and believe that you are done. You can accomplish everything you want. You have everything in your toolkit to get started. You know what your mindset is. You know what your motivation is. You know what your support system is. Take another deep breath. Allow yourself to have everything you dream and hope for. It's yours. You deserve it. Everyone here deserves what they're trying to get. It's your idea. It's your song. It's your book. Don't allow it to slip through your imagination and not have a chance at being real. You have what it takes. Life's going to happen. Take another deep breath. You're an overcomer. Take another deep breath. You're a believer. Take another deep breath. You are the one. Now open your eyes. Now, as I told you before, you're getting all this energy from all the people around you and from me. We're giving it back and forth. And believe me, if you can't feel the energy in this room, then there's something wrong with you. We got great energy in here. Don't let it slip away. Carry it with you through your day, your week, your month, your year. Don't let it ever stop. People ask for help, not because they're weak. They ask for help so they can remain strong. Utilize your support systems. Find new people to bring into your support system. Network. Become known around your circle of friends that you're the one that's going to do it. And that is a fact. Now, I'd like everybody to stand up and relax your shoulders, take another deep breath, and with power and conviction, I want you to repeat after me. Rise up! Rise up! Rise up and live! Thank you. My name is Tom Shaw, and I love being able to speak to you and send this power to you so you can go forward and make a difference, not only in your own life, but other people's lives also. Thank you, and have a great rest of your seminar.